So Swifties, please hear me out, especially Australian Swifties, but all Swifties in general. If you've been one of the lucky people who've managed to score yourself these coveted tickets to see Taylor Swift in concert either in Melbourne or Sydney, well done, congratulations. I'm sure that it was been a fantastic experience. For what I've seen online, it's a concert not to be missed. For the thousands and potentially millions of fans who have not been able to get a ticket, let me explain why that is. Obviously, we're all disappointed. I didn't get a ticket. I didn't try as hard as a lot of people, to be fair, but I didn't get a ticket, and I know loads of people who have been spending the better part of the last 6 months going on the ticketing website. They've been entering competitions, trying to find any possible way of getting hold of these super rare Taylor Swift tickets. Super rare meaning that 300,000 people went in Melbourne and maybe 300,000 people were able to go in Sydney, but still super rare nonetheless. It's no consolation for me to say that it's a matter of supply and demand. In reality, it is a matter of supply and demand. Taylor Swift has been on her World Eras Tour for 12 months, give or take, and her concerts have basically been sold out pretty much everywhere. And those people who are lucky enough to get the tickets have really enjoyed the concerts. However, it's left thousands of people who are really upset and sad that they weren't able to get the tickets. The reason for this is manifold. And the number one thing that we all can relate to is this theory of supply and demand. So obviously, for example, in Sydney, Taylor's only here for 4 nights. So given the capacity of Accor Stadium, just say we'll round it up to 85,000. That's like 340,000 people who were able to attend over the course of 4 nights, on the background of there being millions and millions of potential Swifties who've been wanting this ticket. Yes, there are certain prices for the tickets, and some people may have had the opportunity to purchase the VIP, the really expensive tickets, and haven't been able to afford to do so. But as a general rule, demand has greatly outstripped supply. There was no way on this planet that everybody who wanted to go to one of these concerts were going to be able to get a ticket to go. No chance. And you can't blame the artists, because a lot of this stuff is essentially beyond the artist's control. What, she's going to come here and stay for 3 months and do like a Vegas in-house where she's here performing every night for 12 weeks so that everybody who wants to go has the opportunity to go? It doesn't quite work like that. And I just wish that there was a more kind of fair way of distributing the tickets, in that everyone got an equivalent opportunity to get these tickets. And I think if we got to the point where the Swifties who missed out on getting a ticket could understand the fact that they didn't get a ticket, but it was fair, and everyone had an equal shot to get a ticket, then I think that people aren't going to be so upset, people aren't going to complain as much, and people are going to be relatively more okay with the fact that they missed this potentially once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but it didn't work out that way. And that's the part that's kind of pissed a lot of people off. And one of the things that you don't want to see, which inevitably always happens, is you wonder, like, for example, how did Albo, our Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, get a ticket to Taylor Swift? Did he have to go online for 6 hours? Did he have to queue up? Did he have to set up 19 laptops at his office to try and score this highly coveted ticket? I bet you he didn't. And I'm pretty sure that any celebrity or anyone of notoriety who wanted to go to the concert would have had a much better chance of getting hold of one of these tickets than any of us mere mortals. And that is the number one reason why we think this is unfair. A lot of people have been, well, not a lot, but some people have been saying that they managed to get tickets to all 7 shows in Australia. There have been people who are saying that they've seen Taylor in Australia, they've seen her in Europe and the US. Is that fair? Is that unfair? Look, I feel like the world is unfair. And Taylor Swift is part of the world. Everything else is a matter of who wants it most, who's prepared to pay for it most, and who has the best connections to get these tickets. I mean, that's the reality of life. Life isn't fair. Okay, the people who've managed to score tickets to all 7 shows, assuming they're not the Prime Minister and they've actually had to go through the same channels as everyone else, perhaps they were willing to queue up for 24 hours. Perhaps they had 21 computers instead of 5 continually onto the ticketing website, hopefully trying to get tickets. Perhaps they knew people who helped them get tickets. Perhaps they got up earlier, all those reasons where, in a sense, I guess, effort became part of the equation, allowed them to score tickets when other people weren't able to. It's like at the beginning of the pandemic where there was that great toilet paper rush and everyone was trying to beat each other to the supermarket to get the last package of toilet rolls. That is the reality of life. Whenever there's something that's deemed as scarce, whether it's a life or death thing, or whether that is a pleasurable activity like going to a Taylor Swift concert, there's always going to be a high level of demand, and the level of demand goes up disproportionately to the amount of scarcity that we feel. If we knew that, for example, if Taylor's on tonight and we knew that we could just go online right now 2 hours before the show and get a ticket, nobody would care. And there wouldn't be that mystique over the concert. There wouldn't be so much pent-up demand on the concert, and the whole thing just wouldn't work the way it does now, because scarcity is the reason why things cost more. Scarcity are the reasons why people collect stuff. If the LeBron James rookie card was worth the same as some dude who's only played one game of basketball, no one would want to bother to pay $100,000, $10,000 for a LeBron James rookie card. If Spider-Man #1 had a print run of 28 billion and there was still 10 million of them in mint condition around the world, Spider-Man #1 wouldn't be worth $1 million at the auction. This is what drives the whole world in terms of the reason why people collect stuff and why people want stuff, because there's either scarcity or there's a perceived concept that there is scarcity. I'm not the most diehard of Swifties, but yeah, I would have liked to have gone and seen the concert. But am I pissed off with the person who's managed to get tickets to all 3 of the concerts? Not really, because I understand what's happened here. I understand the fact that it's not their fault. They just wanted to go to the concert, and they took whatever opportunities there were to obtain tickets for the concert. What I'm more annoyed with more than all of that, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys are as well, is the way that the ticketing system worked. The fact that a lot of people have been reporting, and I've experienced that to a smaller degree, the fact that you can never get on the website, and when you do, even if you've waited how many hours to get in and you finally are allowed in to purchase a ticket, when you try and choose a ticket, you get kicked off or there's an error. That's the stuff that pisses people off the most. And that's the stuff that got nothing to do with Taylor. It's got to do with the ticketing system. Whatever platform, whatever software, whatever method they've got of doing it, it really sucks. Having situations where people can actually manage to get hold or get to the point where they can actually select tickets at the stadium, and when they click on that, it says there's an error or the ticket is no longer available, that is bullshit. Okay, that is absolute load of crap. And that's why people get really annoyed. There is that perceived opportunity, but the opportunity was never really there in the first place. And that is the reason why Swifties should be annoyed. Not because Taylor Swift didn't have enough tickets. Look, she's already extended this tour by a day by adding a concert to Sydney. She can't stay here forever. And this whole ticketing system was an absolute nightmare. And the thing that's even worse is that people have been on this website for hours and hours and hours, thinking that there are still tickets available. They're queuing up, they're waiting for that little tiny scroll bar to gradually go across, only to find out there were tickets had sold out like hours ago. If the tickets are sold out hours ago, you shouldn't be allowing people to go online to try and get these tickets, because that is just really, really poor. And that is a reason why Swifties should be annoyed with this whole inability to get tickets. Having said that, the good news is there is still videos coming out for free if you own Disney Plus in March, and that's probably where I will watch it, and I'm sure that's where everyone will watch it. There's been other opportunities like seeing her in the cinema, but obviously it's not the same experience as going to a physical concert. But that's life. There's not much we can do about it. There's not much point. I know that it sounds harsh, but there's not much point crying over it, because that's just the reality. But the thing that we can cry over, as I said, is the fact that the selection system isn't fair. Now, this is not the reaping. This isn't like, may the odds be ever in your favor. This should be an equitable way that everyone who tries has the equal opportunity to try and get on and get the tickets, and that clearly hasn't been the case, and that's the bit that is super annoying. Effort should bring merit. If someone's prepared to get up at midnight and be online for 12 hours to get a ticket, they should be allowed to get a ticket, or at least if there's a ticket available, that should go to them. It shouldn't go to the one who randomly just decides, I'm going to try at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, and then they get in and get the ticket whilst the person who's been waiting for 12 hours doesn't. And that's the stories that I've been reading on social media a lot, and that's the bit that I don't like. And the fact that certain celebrities and famous people, even though they're not really Swifties, but it's something that would look good on their resume because they've been there, the fact that they can get tickets easily is a bit that really, I don't have time for that shit. Like, I don't know, our Prime Minister could be a super huge Swiftie, but I don't think he's going to be. The fact that he can get tickets to that, get tickets to the Matildas in the World Cup, get all these things where normal, average Australian citizens have much less of an opportunity to do. I don't know. It just feels like that's kind of an abuse of your power. Being a Prime Minister does not give you the right, does it, to have a better chance of getting hold of tickets to social events. I'm not talking about governing the world. I'm not talking about anything that's related in any way to politics. But the fact that personalities are able to pull strings and get hold of things which normal people have no hope and no shot of getting, what's that all about? Anyway, rant over. I don't pretend to be, I'm actually have kind of neutral feelings about this generally. It is what it is. I didn't get tickets. Lots of people also didn't get tickets. Lots of people who wanted the tickets more than me didn't get tickets. It's just a bad system where these people didn't get the same shot as others. And I don't think that this has ever improved, because in the history of humanity, tickets to sporting events, tickets to concerts have never been done in a fair way. And I doubt that they're ever going to be, because it's too hard, and there'll be too much backlash if people who think that they deserve to go, rather than people who actually deserve to go get to go. Anyway, see you later. Rant over. Catch you next time in another video. Bye.